In this video, we will discuss about trigonometric functions of general angles. Let us recall trigonometric function of an acute angle, an angle that measures less than 90 degrees, or the angle lies in quadrant 1. So the trigonometric functions of an acute angle, or an angle that lies in quadrant 1, are always positive. But if the angle lies in quadrant 2, or quadrant 3, or quadrant 4, it means not all trigonometric functions are positive. Now let us explore the signs of trigonometric functions. If the angle is in quadrant 1, all trigonometric functions are positive. In quadrant 2, the only positive functions are sine theta and cosecant theta, which is the reciprocal of sine. The rest of the functions are negative. This S stands for sine. And then for quadrant 3, when the angle is in quadrant 3, the only trigonometric functions that are positive here are tangent and its reciprocal, which is cotangent. This T represents tangent. And when the angle is in the fourth quadrant, the only positive functions are cosine and its reciprocal function, that is secant theta. This C stands for cosine. You can memorize this ASTC in counterclockwise direction on identifying that A is add, and then S is sugar, T is to, and C is coffee. So add sugar to coffee. Or you can memorize this as all students take chocolate. So let us apply the signs of trigonometric function in this example. So we have to name the quadrant in which the angle theta lies. So for letter A, we need the sine theta as less than 0, and cosine theta is also less than 0. So when you say less than 0, it's negative. So we need to know the angle where the theta lies if the sine value is negative and the cosine value is negative. So to be able to identify, so let's do this step by step. For example, sine theta is negative, so if we will look at these signs of trigonometric function, A means all and S stands for sine. So in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, the sign is positive. So we have here quadrant 3 and 4 wherein the sign is negative. So we will tick quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. And the next function is cosine theta must be negative. We know that it's positive in the first quadrant and in the fourth quadrant, so it's negative on the second and on the third. So we have to take the second quadrant and the third quadrant. Since we have two functions given, so we have to select the two ticks. So this angle is in quadrant 3. So the theta is in quadrant 3. For the second example, cosecant theta is greater than 0, meaning the value must be positive, and cotangent theta is less than 0, meaning the value must be negative. So if we will look at the signs, so cosecant theta is positive on the first quadrant and on the second quadrant, since sine and cosecant are positive on the second quadrant. So we have to take the first and the second quadrant for cosecant theta greater than 0. And then for cotangent theta, which is less than 0, means we need the cotangent theta negative. It's positive on the first quadrant and on the third quadrant. So it's negative on the second and on the fourth quadrant. So we have to take the second and the fourth. Since we have two functions given, so we have to select the two ticks, and that is in quadrant 2. So the angle theta lies in quadrant 2. In this third example, sine theta times tangent theta is less than 0. In this product of sine and tangent, which is less than 0, it looks like this is quadratic inequalities in form, so means we have two cases here. First is if sine is positive and tangent is negative, and second is if sine is negative and tangent is positive. Or it means if both of them have different signs. So what we will do here is we will test the sign in every quadrant. Like for example, in the first quadrant, the sign is positive and tangent is also positive. So if we will multiply this positive times positive, the product is positive. So this is not the angle theta in quadrant 1. In second quadrant, the sign is positive and tangent is a negative. So if we will multiply positive times negative, the product is a negative, and this is what we're looking for. So the theta lies in this quadrant 2. For quadrant 3, the sine is negative and the tangent is positive. If we will multiply this, so it's equal to a negative. So means the theta is also in quadrant 3. And for quadrant 4, sine theta is negative and tangent is also negative. So if you will get the product of these two, the product is equal to a positive. So it means the theta lies either in quadrant 2 or in quadrant 3. So this is the answer. Now let us define the trigonometric functions of any angle. Let theta be an angle in sundry position, and let the point AB be any point except the origin on the terminal side of the angle theta. If r denotes the distance from the origin to the point AB, then we can define the sixth trigonometric function. But here in this angle theta, since angle theta is not an acute and it lies in quadrant 2, so we cannot create a right triangle on this part. So what we're going to do is we will define the reference angle of this theta, which is theta sub r. So this theta sub r is called the reference angle of this theta, because in this angle we can form a reference right triangle by creating a vertical line from this point AB perpendicular to the x-axis. So we now have this reference right triangle. And from this reference right triangle, so we can define the opposite of this reference angle, which is this side. We can denote this as y, since this is a vertical distance. And this adjacent of this reference angle is, we can represent that as x, means horizontal distance. And this hypotenuse here of this right triangle, we will denote that as r. So now we can define the sixth trigonometric function because we will use this reference right triangle with this reference angle. So we now have the sixth trigonometric function. So instead of opposite over hypotenuse, since the opposite of this reference angle is y and the hypotenuse is r, so the sine theta is y over r. And for cosine theta, the adjacent of this reference angle theta is this x and the hypotenuse is r, so cosine theta is x over r. And for tangent theta, the reference angle of the theta is opposite over adjacent, so it's y over x. So as you can see here, when we have the sine, cosine, and tangent, so the reciprocal functions are cosecant, secant, and cotangent. So you will just get the reciprocal of these three values. And as you can see here, since r is the hypotenuse, r is always positive. But x and y can either be a positive or a negative, since this x and y depends on the position of the angle theta. So if the angle theta is in quadrant 2, means x is negative and y is positive. If the angle theta is in quadrant 3, means both x and y are positive. But if the angle theta is in quadrant 4, means x is positive and y is negative. So if the angle lies in any of the quadrant, either in quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, or quadrant 4, we can use this definition of trigonometric function, which is y over r for sine, x over r for cosine, and y over x for tangent. So this is the extension of definition of trigonometric function, or using the mnemonics SOHCAHTOA. Since we have shown when the angle is in quadrant 2, now let us explore when the angle is in other quadrant, like in quadrant 1. So if the angle is in quadrant 1 and the point AB lies on the terminal side of the angle theta, so we do not need here the reference angle since the angle theta is an acute. Then let us draw the right triangle by creating a vertical line perpendicular to this x-axis. So this is now our right triangle. So the opposite of this theta is a vertical distance, which is y, and the adjacent to theta is the horizontal distance, which is x, and the distance from the origin to this point is hypotenuse, which is represented as r. So this is the right triangle when the angle is an acute. But when the angle is in the third quadrant like this, since we know that the angle theta is not an acute, so we need a reference angle. So the reference angle is on this part, and we have a point AB that lies on the terminal side, and the reference angle is denoted by theta sub r. So the reference angle is an acute angle formed by the x-axis and the terminal side. So this is the reference angle. Now let us draw the reference right triangle here by creating a vertical line perpendicular to the x-axis. So this is now your reference right triangle. And the opposite of this reference angle is this vertical distance, which is y, and horizontal distance is x, which is the adjacent, and the hypotenuse, or the distance of the origin to this point, is denoted by r. So this is the right triangle when the angle theta lies in quadrant 3. So the last one is if the angle theta lies in quadrant 4. So since the angle theta is not an acute angle, so we have to define again the reference angle. So we have a point on the terminal side, which is the point AB, and the reference angle here is formed by this x-axis and the terminal side. So this is part of the reference angle. And let us create a reference right triangle by creating a vertical line from this point AB perpendicular to this x-axis. So this is now our reference right triangle. So the opposite of this reference angle is the vertical distance, which is y again, and the adjacent, which is horizontal distance, is the x, and this hypotenuse here of this right triangle, it is denoted by r. Let us apply the definition of trigonometric function of any angle in this example. So here, our aim is to find the exact value of this trigonometric expression. And when you say exact value, we cannot consider the non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. So it means you cannot use calculator here. So the given is the point -68 is on the terminal side of the positive angle theta. So let us draw the angle theta. Since -68 is in quadrant 2, so the angle theta lies in quadrant 2. Since the angle theta is not an acute, so we have to define the reference angle. So take note, this point -68 is on the terminal side. So let us locate that. So if this point is -68, then the reference angle is an acute angle formed by the terminal side to the x-axis. So this is the reference angle of the angle theta. Now, let's create a reference right triangle by creating a vertical line from this point -68 perpendicular to this x-axis. So we now have a right triangle. So let us denote the opposite of this reference angle by y, and the adjacent here is x, and this hypotenuse is r. So now we need to find the value of this x, y, r so we can define these trigonometric functions or expressions. So let us start by this point, which is -68, meaning when -68 is a point, so this determines x, y. So x is -6, y is +8, and the missing value is the r, and we can find r using Pythagorean equation. So r is equal to the square root of x squared plus y squared. So you just need to substitute the values of -6 and 8 in this formula. So we will get r, which is equal to +10. So now, since it is already complete, we have the value of x, y, r, which is your aim here in this right triangle. We can now define these trigonometric expressions. So the first expression is, we need to find for sine theta minus cosine theta. So let us define the sine theta. Sine theta is y over r, and y over r is 8 over 10. And then cosine theta is x over r. So x over r is -6 over 10. So this minus is operation, and the cosine value is -6 over 10. So you just need to put this in calculator, and it will give you the answer, which is 7 over 5. Take note, your answer must be in simplest form, and we do not need to write here in the instruction. Your answer must be always be in simplest form. So this is the answer for sine theta minus cosine theta. Now for the second expression, tangent theta plus cosecant theta. So let us define tangent theta, and it is denoted by y over x. And then y over x is 8 over minus 6. And then for cosecant theta is the opposite of sine, meaning it's r over y. So let's take the value of r over y, so it's 10 over 10. So plus 10 over 8, sorry. Now, adding these two fractions, you will get the value of negative 1 over 12. Now, in this next example, we have the given tangent theta, which is equal to negative 2/3, and the theta is between negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Then, we have to find the exact value of the following trigonometric functions. So here, we should not find the angle using calculator, because we can see here that when you put in calculator, you can find for the theta, which is inverse tan negative 2/3, but you cannot do that because we need to find the exact value. If you will put this in calculator, you will get the angle theta, which is non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. And it will also defeat the purpose of using the definition of trigonometric functions or identities. So let's make use of the definition. So first, we have to locate the theta, and I have put here the signs of trigonometric function. So the theta, it looks like the theta must be from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. When you say negative pi over 2, meaning the angle is clockwise direction, starting from this positive x-axis, going here. This is negative pi over 2 to 0, then 0 to pi over 2, meaning theta can be in quadrant 4 or in quadrant 1. But since the tangent value is a negative, and tangent is negative in quadrant 4, not in quadrant 1, so it means your angle theta is in quadrant 4. So this is your theta. And since theta is not an acute angle, so we need to find the reference angle. And the reference angle is an acute angle formed by this x-axis and the terminal side. So this is the reference angle. So on this reference angle, we can create here a reference right triangle by creating a vertical line perpendicular to this x-axis. So we now have the reference right triangle. So the opposite of this reference angle theta is this side, which is vertical distance. We can denote this as y. And this adjacent to the reference angle theta is denoted by x, which is horizontal distance. And the distance for this, or hypotenuse, it's denoted by r. So we need to define the x, y, and r. Since we don't have a given point, but we have a given function, which is tangent theta, so we can make use of this. Since tangent theta is negative 2/3, and the definition of tangent theta is y over x. So it means y over x, we have to put the negative at 2 and positive at 3. We have to put negative at 2 because negative 2 represents the y and x represents 3, since y is negative in quadrant 4. You cannot put negative in x because x is positive in quadrant 4. Then, since y is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to positive 3, the missing value is the value of r, which is the hypotenuse. So r is equal to, as we know, r is always positive. So r is equal to the square root of x plus the square root of y, which is equal to square root of 13. So the values now are complete. We now have the value of x, the value of y, and the value of r. So we can define these three trigonometric functions. So for cotangent, cotangent theta is the opposite of tangent, so it is defined as x over y, and x over y is negative 3/2, or reciprocal value of this tangent. Then for cosecant theta, which is reciprocal of sine, so it is defined as r over y, and r over y is negative square root of 13 over 2. And then for secant theta, since this is reciprocal of cosine, so it is defined as r over x. So r over x is square root of 13 divided by 3. So make sure your answer is in simplest form and there is no radical in the denominator. Now for the next example, so we still have the same question, which is finding the exact value of the following trigonometric functions, and we should not find the angle using calculator. So the given here is secant theta is equal to -4 and sine theta is less than 0. So using the signs of the trigonometric function, let us locate for the angle theta. Since the sine theta is negative, and we know sine theta is negative in quadrant 3 and 4, and secant is negative in quadrant 3, so it means our angle theta lies in quadrant 3. So since the theta is not an acute angle, so we can define the reference angle, which is an acute angle formed by this x-axis at the terminal side. So this is the reference angle. So let us create the reference right triangle. So in this reference right triangle, this vertical distance is the y, this is the x, and this is the r. And then let's do the same. So since the given is secant theta, which is equal to -4, and if we define the secant theta, it is defined as r over x. R over x. So since secant theta is -4, we can write this -4 as 4 over -1 or -4 over 1. But why I put the negative in 1? Since the secant is defined as r over x, and we know that r should always be positive and can never be negative, so the negative must be in x. And also, we know that x is negative since the sign of x in quadrant 3 is negative. So it means, so we have here, we can put a note that r is always positive and x is negative in quadrant 3. So now we have the value of r, which is 4, and the value of x, which is -1. Then the missing value is the value of y. And the value of y is equal to the negative square root of r squared, which is 4 squared, minus x squared, which is -1 squared, and the answer is equal to -root of 15. Take note, the sign of y is negative because y is negative in quadrant 3. So the y value is negative square root of 15. So since the values are all complete, we can now find the cosecant theta, which is defined as r over y. And this cosecant theta is 4 divided by negative square root of 15. And we can simplify this because there's a radical in the denominator. We can rationalize this, and the final answer is -4 square root of 15 over 15. Then for tangent theta, it is defined as y over x. So the y value is negative square root of 15. Then the denominator is -1. So this is the y over x. And then if you will simplify this, negative divided by negative is a positive. So we now have a square root of 15. You can check the signs of your answer since we know that theta is in quadrant 3. The only positive functions here are tangent and cotangent. As you can verify here that your answer in tangent is a positive means it's correct. And other functions like cosecant, it must be negative, meaning your signs of x, y, r are correct. Now the next topic is about coterminal angle. From the prefix co means the same, so it means there are two angles that are in standard position are said to be coterminal if they have the same terminal side. So like in the figure A, in this figure A, we have two angles, positive angle A and a negative angle B. So let us assume a value or the measure of this angle A, which is positive 135 degrees because A is in this direction, which is counterclockwise direction. So measure of angle A is a positive angle, which is 135 degrees. Then if the angle A measures 135 degrees, So the angle B, which is a negative angle, can be measured as 135 degrees minus 360 degrees, which is equal to negative 225. It means that this 135 degrees, which is the measure of angle A, is coterminal to negative 225 degrees, which is a negative angle B. So another example in this second figure are positive angle A and a positive angle B. So let us assume the measure of this positive angle A. So since this is more than 180, let us assume that the measure of angle A is 200 degrees. So if the measure of angle A is 200 degrees and you can see that the angle B is more than one rotation, so the measure of angle B can be found by 200 degrees added by 360 degrees, which is equal to 560 degrees. So it means 200 degrees and 560 degrees are coterminal angles. As you can see, we can form the coterminal angles either by adding 360 degrees or subtracting 360 degrees. That is why the formula or the general formula for finding the coterminal is that if the angle is given in degrees, so either you are adding or subtracting 360 degrees multiplied by an integer. Let's say you keep on adding 360, so 360 times 1 or 360 times 2 or 360 times minus 1 or 360 times minus 2. But if the angle is given as pi radian, so you just keep on adding or subtracting multiples of 2 pi. So this is the formula for coterminal and is denoted by theta sub c. So let us find the coterminal of these two angles here. So in this example, we have to find one positive and one negative coterminal angles for each. So the first angle is in degrees, which is 53 degrees. If we want to find a positive coterminal angle to this, so we have to add 360 degrees to this angle, which is equal to 413 degrees. And if we want to find a negative coterminal for this angle, so we have to subtract 360 degrees. So we have 53 degrees minus 360 degrees is equal to negative 307 degrees. And then for the next question, it's given in pi radian, which is negative pi over 5. If we want to find a positive coterminal, so instead of adding 360 degrees, you will add 2 pi. So it will give us 9 pi over 5. And for the negative coterminal angle, instead of adding 2 pi, you will just subtract 2 pi and you will get negative 11 pi over 5.